Do you like green things? Do you like peppers? Do you like leaves? Do you like to eat them? Then you need this. The best thing ever. So this is Poseidon's Pets Aquaponics system. The best thing ever. Buy now. Stay tuned for a harvest video.
Do me a favor, subscribe to my channel.
Hey guys, Kyle here from Poseidon's Pets. So today what I got for you is a harvest video. So my peppers have been doing really well and I needed to pick some of them. So what I wanted to do for you was just do an aquaponics update, show you some of the peppers that I grew and how well everything's growing in the aquaponics system. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. I definitely appreciate it, and I'm excited to try some of these and taste the fruits of my labor. Yes. So first things first, I wanted to touch on my nephew Dean's broccoli. So you can see that stuff's growing like crazy, and it kind of baffles me that a system like this where it's just fish waste, well, technically there's no fish in the system right now, but just wastewater can grow these plants so well. And the broccoli's doing so good. I don't have any heads on there yet, but look how nice and dark green these leaves are. And then of course, the Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts I planted are doing just as good. I've got this garlic. I don't know how long to grow garlic. I've never grown garlic before, so definitely interested to see. I'm really tempted to pull this up just to see where it's at, so I may do that today. We'll see. Then you'll notice these peppers are starting to change color on me, so they've been on the plant too long. And I've been busy with other stuff going on, so I haven't really come out here and harvested anything. And I wanted to do a video for you guys. So with the hours I work and then the light schedule of winter time, any video that I was going to do to update on this system was going to be at night, and I didn't want to do that. So I had to wait for a day that I could come out here during the day and show you guys just me harvesting these. And I'll show you in a second, but they're still producing peppers. So you can see here, these are going to be new peppers. So even though it's been cold, they're still producing. And you want to be careful because for some reason, these pepper plants are very fragile. It's not like the ones I've grown in ground. The stalks and stems are very fragile. But normally, you can just rip it off right there at that knuckle. Very little harm to the plant. You get the whole pepper. Don't see any more in there. And I'm used to growing peppers in the ground very prolifically because I do worm compost. I do all kinds of stuff to, grow these peppers. So to have a small harvest like this, it kind of hurts me, but at the same time, it's impressive to know that I did this with water. Like there's no soil in there, it's just bacteria, a little bit of nutrients, some fish waste. So it's not the same harvest as I would have gotten in the ground because I've been gardening in the ground for years and I know how to do that. So I'm sure eventually I will be able to pull out the same amount of harvest that I get in this system as I would in it. So I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode and telemarketer. So that last sentence I was trying to say got cut off. But basically what I was saying was I'm impressed with the growth I have here, but growing in the ground I've seen better results. Eventually I'll get the same results with this. I just got to dial it in. So like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by that guy that was calling me on my phone. I don't even know what he was saying. I was harvesting peppers. See if I can get a good angle here. So I gotta move the broccoli aside, but got a decent pepper in the back here. Not too bad. Look at this little guy. A little tiny guy. I'm gonna let him keep going. That out. So when I grew in the ground, I was getting peppers that were so much bigger than this. But this guy is decent size. Now with a big stem like this, I'm afraid to break the plant. Because the stem is actually thicker than the branch. So far, I've got 2 peppers per plant. As far as the amount of money and time and energy I have put into this, these probably are about $20 each. So if anybody wants to buy a couple peppers, you know, 20 bucks a pop. All right, and on to the next. So I planted kale, if you guys remember in my last video, and the kale's doing pretty good. It's starting to grow very nicely. I have some beetroot sprouts that are starting to sprout. I planted some beans in the back over here. Nothing, they kind of just rotted away, so those will probably have to start in a paper towel or a different type of medium instead of just planting directly into the system. So some seeds you can put in there, some seeds you're going to want to start outside. But if you look at this bell pepper, it's decent sized, and I'm going to let it keep growing because I got no real reason to pick it right now. But there's another little one right there, and then another guy right here. It's a little tiny one. And if the plant starts to pull over any more than this now, I'll go ahead and I'll pull it. So you can see bell peppers, little tiny bell pepper, and then that bigger guy. But on this plant, got 2 more banana peppers. If you just bend it backwards across from where it's growing, usually they just snap off. So just like this, it's growing this way, bend it backwards, grab right there where the knuckle is. Usually it snaps right off without priming the plant. And like I said, I don't know if it has to do with a nutrient deficiency in the aquaponics system, but these stems are not as sturdy as they would be if I was growing in the dirt. So I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what they're lacking, what they need, but definitely just a little bit flimsy. Those are some decent sized ones there. See if I can do this without breaking off this new baby growth here. Oh, there goes the leaf. And I don't know if you could see that, but it breaks off cleanly. So it's almost like it has a little joint on there that you just snap it off from. Kind of like an umbilical cord. So that pepper plant is definitely a little bit more prolific than the other one. So I got 4 out of it. So altogether, not too bad. Nice little snack. Definitely not worth the money, but this is a long-term goal, long-term investment. I'm gaining knowledge from this, so that way in the future when I set up a bigger aquaponics system, I could have tons more that I could share with friends, share with neighbors, start to can, continue to build stores and stockpiles. So this is exciting. This is a start. I've actually got something out of my efforts. I'm happy. Before I close this video out, I want to give you guys kind of a close-up of everything. So these are the Brussels sprouts. They'll start to grow a stalk here. And then that stalk will have the Brussels sprouts growing along it. So there's quite a few in here. This little pepper plant, it's doing okay. You can see some of those nutrient deficiencies still. These nightshade plants, these fruiting plants, they require a lot more nutrients than these cruciferous vegetables that mostly nitrogen. So once these start flowering, I kind of expect to see some nutrient deficiency, so we'll see what happens. And let's see, this garlic in the back kind of being choked out. Let's pull it up and see what we got. Kind of curious to see what grew out of it. Nothing. Look at that little guy. So it kind of rotted away a little bit. The part that I planted rotted, and then we've got all this new growth. So this is where it would start to form. It's such a little guy. So you could eat this. It would taste like garlic. It smells like garlic. But I think I'm going to plant it back in there. See if I can find a spot without disturbing everything and plant it in there. Before I do that, you see the kale. I'm not a fan of this curly leaf kale, but it was all they had at the store. I would much rather have like a flat leaf kale or the purple varieties, but it's doing good. See if you can see some of the rotted beans in here. Look at that stuff. Yeah, they just turned to mush. Gross. Hey, more nutrients for the system. So since the beans didn't sprout, go ahead and put this guy in there. Grab my tripod. So who knows? We'll see what happens with that guy. Maybe digging him up, I killed it. Maybe not. So last thing I want you guys to see is the goldfish. So these guys have been in quarantine for quite a while. See if I can move the duckweed out of the way. But they're still doing good in there. And pretty soon I am going to be transferring them to the aquaponics system. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to take them, I'm going to take the gambusia, and I'm going to put them back in the aquaponics. Where's the other two? There we go. So all 5 of them in there. And they may not look very active. They may look kind of dead and lethargic, but it's cold. Goldfish kind of go dormant. So once it heats up, you know, they'll be more active. They'll do more. They're not really eating right now. As you can see, I've got all this duckweed in here. I haven't fed them in I don't know how long. Any food I put in there, they don't eat because it's cold. Their bodies aren't doing really anything. They're dormant. Thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely appreciate it. I hope you liked today's video on harvesting my peppers and the update on the aquaponics system. So as always, if you love me, you love my fish, you love my videos, hit that subscribe button. You won't regret it. Do it. Just hit the button. So thanks again for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.